Okay, hi, my name is Franz Paul, and for the second showing, we have the pelvic girdle and the different bones that are included in the pelvic girdle. We have hip bones. On the hip bones, we have different different showings, such as the ilium, the ischium, and the isch tube. We also have the sacrum, along with the coccyx that is involved in this pelvic girdle. You have the acetabulum as well, and oh Lord, don't know what happened there. As well as the obturator foramen, and all these which have different blood vessels and different openings within them. You also have the iliac crest as well. That's the one I was forgetting. Included in some landmarks that are within the pelvic girdle. In terms of innervation, you have the lumbar plexus, L1, L2, L3, L4. You have the femoral nerve that supplies the muscles of the anterior thigh, which would run along this way. You have the obturator nerve that passes through the obturator foramen and the obturator foramen and supplies to the medial thigh. And then, of course, because of the sacrum being included within the pelvic girdle, you have the sacral plexus that will run along the foramen within the sacrum. With this, you have the sciatic nerve exiting the pelvis to supply blood to the lower leg and foot. It is the largest nerve. You have the pudendal nerve, which supplies muscles of the pelvic floor and provides sensations to the genitals that run through the sacral plexus. And you have the superior inferior gluteal nerves, which supply the glutes. In terms of the automatic nervous system innervation, your sympathetic fibers contribute to vasoconstriction and control of the bladder function. That'll run through here. And your parasympathetic mainly have splanchnic nerves that run through S2, S3, and S4, which stimulate bladder contraction. In terms of blood supply for the pelvic girdle, you have the obturator artery, which supplies blood to the medial thigh, just like the obturator nerve and parts of the hip. You have the superior gluteal artery, which supplies the upper part of the glutes. Iliolumbar artery, which supplies the iliac region of the nearby muscles. And you have your lateral sacral artery, which supplies blood to the sacral region of the nearby nerves. In terms of surrounding structures and their innervation and blood supply, you have the pelvic floor, which could be considered within the coccyx or levator ani, which primarily innervated by the pudendal nerve, and the blood supply of internal pudendal and inferior gluteal arteries. You have certain reproductive organs that are supplied by the testicular arteries in males and the urinary artery in females that go through the pelvic girdle as well. The gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, those have blood innervation from superior and inferior gluteal nerves, and blood supply from that, from those same regions. the rectum and the anal canal will run on this inferior portion, and you have blood supply from the superior rectal artery and the middle inferior rectal arteries. Both of those, well, not both of those. The superior rectal artery will branch from the inferior mesenteric artery, and the middle and inferior rectal arteries will branch from the internal iliac arteries. In terms of the embryonic origins, at birth you have, excuse me, at birth you have the mesoderm, and most bones and muscles in the pelvic girdle develop from mesoderm, the middle layer of the embryo. And this will form also lateral plate mesoderms, form the hip bones, iliums, ischiums, and pubis, and the natural crest cells contribute to the development of nerve tissues, including those involved in innervation, and the endochondral ossification of the hip bones and sacrum. The cartilage will gradually turn into bone during development.